Hello and welcome to Yes, You Are Brave. This is a podcast where we are going to set off on a journey together to find and build our brave, where we explore all the ways that you have been brave and all the ways that you can be brave again. Because even though we may have forgotten or we may have fallen out of practice, we're all brave. And I'm on a mission to prove it and help you believe that yes, you are brave. Hello, and welcome to this week's episode of Yes, You Are Brave. I'm Pawnee, I'm your host. Super excited that you are here. Let's talk brave. Let's jump in and do it. So this week I want to talk about something, and I have just barely changed a little bit of this kind of last minute because I wanted to talk about how to find and use your, was going to be voice, but now we're going to talk about joy instead because I think that it fits better with all of the things that I wanted to say. So let's talk about finding and using your joy and what it means to find your joy and to find your joy and your voice and use it. And what ways can we use it and how can we have that help us get to where we want to go and the things we want to do. And so first things I want to talk about, and I'm just jumping right in here, we're just going for it this week, is I want you to find a way. What are the ways that you express yourself? And I know that everybody is different and everybody has a different idea and a different way that they express themselves and a way that they feel like they can express themselves in a way that they can be heard and a way that makes them feel good. And so what is that way for you? Okay, are you an artist, like a visual artist where you paint and you do things like that? Or are you a writer? I'm more of a writer. I write 16 ways from Sunday, and that is one of the ways that I express myself. So what are some things that you do that is a way that you express yourself? If you do not have one of these things that comes to mind right off the bat, then maybe you need to sit with yourself and spend some time and figure it out. Okay, that's the best part about life and about where we're at is that we can figure these things out. We don't have to sit here stuck. Okay, we really don't. So what are, and along those lines too of like your own joy and like the ways you express yourselves, what is something that you feel connected to, something that expresses what you can't? And this is where I want to talk about, I know that some of you are not musicians. Some of you are, maybe you're a musician, maybe you're not, but maybe you feel connected to some sort of music that maybe you don't play, maybe you do, but maybe you don't even play that music, but it makes you feel connected. It allows you to feel and feel your feelings expressed, if that makes any sense. An expression of your feelings, even if you are not able to articulate them in any way or way, shape, or form. So I want you to do that. I want you to find those things. Also want you to take part in things that make your soul sing, including music, including performances of maybe it's movies, maybe it's plays, maybe it is some sort of games, something you can be involved in. Okay, that's what I want you to look at is what can you be involved in, what can you participate in that makes your soul happy, that makes your heart light. Now, I know that this seems very broad and very big, but I want you to think about that. I want you to think about what is it that makes my heart sing and makes my soul light? What is it that I really enjoy? Now, for example, I talked about music. I love music and I love all types of music. And I know some people are like, oh, well, you can't love every type of music. But I love most music and I love really weird music. And I will go from one genre to another. I will literally go from like an instrumental classical type music to Metallica to like a Christmas rock band to Viking war music. I listen to all kinds of music and I love being able to go from one genre of music to another because I feel like sometimes, and this is going to sound a little cheesy, a little corny, don't really care, but I feel like there are some types of music, and it changes, if I'm being perfectly honest, from one situation in my life to another. But I feel like there are certain types of music that, for lack of a better way to explain it, I feel like I listen to them. I listen to that music, and the music and the power behind the music, I feel like it like beats the sadness out of my soul, out of my heart. And I know that sounds weird and it sounds a little corny, but that is something that I do. So I like to be involved in music. Now, I would love to say that I go to concerts a lot. I have not been to a concert in a while. I did go see the Taylor Swift movie. The concert was fantastic. But I have not been to lots of concerts in the last couple of years. But I love going to concerts. I love being a part of those. So is that something that makes your heart lighter? If not, that's totally cool. What is it that makes your heart lighter? Maybe it's going to plays. I happen to live in southern Utah. I happen to live just down the road from the place that hosts the Shakespeare Festival every summer. So for like 3, 4, 5 months, something in the summertime, there is a Shakespeare Festival going on in town. There's all these plays happening all the time. I also live just about an hour from the Tuacahn Outdoor Theater, which is, if you know anything about theater, you probably have heard of Tuacahn. It's a beautiful outdoor theater set against the rocks. There's tons of artsy stuff going on in and around where I live, and it's amazing. So I have the opportunity to take place in that. And I don't know what you've got where you live. There's probably some pretty amazing things if you just look. But what is it that you can take part in that makes you feel like when you're done, that you're a little lighter, that you feel a little bit better about your life and about everything? It takes some pressure off of your chest. It takes some of those rocks out of your backpack, and it just helps you feel lighter and helps you feel better, helps you feel joy. Is it going to games? Maybe you're a sports person, and I know some people are going to be like, oh, well, sports don't really qualify. I don't see why the hell not. Okay, let's stop judging what makes us or other people happy, as long as it's not harmful, right? Does it really matter that you feel complete and total joy by going to a football game and somebody else gets it by going to a ballet? It doesn't really matter. There are so many ways to do that. So if going to a game and being there in the action and all that stuff is really what makes you feel lighter, then I say go with it and run with it. Also, is it climbing mountains? Maybe you're one of those people that likes to go climb mountains or do rock climbing, those type of things. You get to the top and you feel like all of your worries just fall away the closer you get to the top. Maybe you're a photographer, and when you capture that perfect picture, the lighting is perfect, the shadow is dropped just right, and it turns out better than you could ever imagine. Maybe that just going out and taking pictures cleans the cobwebs out of your soul. That is fantastic. I love it. It's amazing. Go do it. Also, if it's painting or crocheting or knitting or baking, another thing that really I feel like is very helpful for me is baking. There are times when I will go, I get these anxious feelings or something, and I go and I bake like crazy. And then I just go into this baking frenzy. And when I get done, I feel lighter, I feel better. My waistline may not agree, but my soul feels lighter. And so what is it that you can do that brings you joy? And doesn't matter if other people get it or agree. What is it that brings you joy and helps you feel lighter and like you can handle life better? That's what I want you to do. And I want you to also, when you're learning, when you're doing these things, I want you to do things that you enjoy, not necessarily things you are good at. Last week, I finally went to Ward Choir. So I went to the choir after church, and we are preparing for a Christmas program that will be in church in a couple of weeks. And it was really fun. I hadn't been to choir in a long time for various reasons. I was talking to somebody about it, and they're like, oh, you got a really nice voice. And I was like, thanks. I don't really think that I have that great of a voice. But what I do is I like to sing. I sing because I enjoy it, not necessarily because I'm good at it. And I have an okay voice. I have a very choral voice, meaning I sound pretty good in a choir because I have a voice that blends well with others. Not really a soloist, but I sing because I like to sing. So what is it that you like to do that brings you joy, that brings you happiness, and maybe you're not so good at it? That's the other thing I want to point out and I want to make clear is you don't have to be good at something for it to bring you joy. You don't have to pick up an artistic hobby that you then turn into a small business and make millions of dollars. No, you can do it because it makes you happy. Just as a way to to find and express your joy and use your little part of your voice to do that. You can just do things because they make you happy. And also you can do things to help you to make connections. Do those things. Maybe you go to a paint night. I have a roommate from college, one of my first roommates. She is an art teacher, actually. She teaches at a small college down in Arizona, the one we went to. And she does these like painting nights. And I would love to go. I think it would be so fun to go do like a paint night. You know, you go and they like she walks you through all this stuff. I think that would be so much fun. I live about 600 miles too far away. But do those things that bring you joy and that bring you happiness, and use them to make connections to the people, with the people around you, so that you can be happy and you can find that joy. Finding your joy, using your joy, it's just about getting out of your comfort zone and not insisting that things be perfect. You don't have to be perfect to find joy in something. You really don't. You can sit down and you can play on the piano and it can be terrible and it can still bring you joy. You can go out and you can take up a new sport and be terrible at it and still find joy in it. Okay? You do not have to be perfect at something for it to bring you joy. Please don't insist on being good at something. Just let it bring you joy. And I promise that is going to be where you're going to find some amazing freedom, and also you're going to be able to just enjoy life way, way more, which I think is the goal of everybody. So that's what I have for you this week, is to find and use your joy to improve your life, right? There's so many ways to find joy. There's so many things we can do that allow us to feel joy and allow us to be joyful. Go out and find yours. Find what makes your heart sing. Find what makes your soul light, and do that thing, even if you're not necessarily good at it. Remember that you are wonderful. You're amazing. You're awesome. And you deserve the effort. You deserve to feel happy. You deserve to find and feel joy. And you can. You can. I love you. I believe in you. And yes, you are brave enough to find and use your joy. Have a great day.
Thanks for listening. And if you enjoyed what you've heard today, please leave a review down below and share this with anyone that you feel like could use a little more brave in their life. And if you'd like to follow more of my journey to be brave, you can follow me on social media and link down below. Have a fantastic day, and don't forget to be brave.